And welcome to our viewers in Nigeria and across the world. This is Politics on Sunday, reaching you live from our studio in Abuja, the Federal Capital Territory. I'm Ayodele Uzubakun, standing in for Femi Akonde. Today on the program, our spotlight will be on the rift between the state executive and the legislature, with particular reference to the decision of Benue and Zamfara State House of Assembly. We will also be talking about the decision of the House of Representatives to invite the governors of the affected states, and later also on the controversy this move on the House of Representatives has caused. Do they have the powers to summon the state governors? But in Benue State, the situation is a bit complex. There are many sides and causes of a crisis that has continued to escalate. Leaders of support groups within the All Progressive Congress, APC, have asked President Bola Ahmed Tinubu and the party's national chairman, Abdullahi Ganduje, to urgently intervene in the political crisis in Benue State. On the program today, we will attempt to get a better context and deeper insight into the political crisis in the states, and also dealing with the reality of violent attacks on rural communities. Joining me live in the studio is a former member of the House of Representatives, Honorable Francis Otoa Agbo.
Thank you.
Thanks for staying with us.
Thank you, bros.
Okay, let's start. I want you to just put up to speed the political crisis, particularly in Benue State. It has not been something that has been a very easy relationship within the ruling All Progressive Congress. Talking about the camp of the SGF and Reverend Father Alia.
Thank you very much. I think basically that the hangers-on may be responsible for all of this rumor. For me, I've asked both of them, and they didn't give me any impression that they have issues. But I think those hangers-on, supporters who really want to lash on the tenuous crisis, so to speak, or tussle, are the ones that are actually spreading this rift, so that, they could, either endear themselves to some big men, nobody knows. But because the truth of the matter is that, look, the governor, His Excellency, Reverend Father Hassan Alia, is the governor of Benue State. There are no two governors. When I spoke with one of the young men that is behind all of this brouhaha, I told him that His Excellency Chief George Akume was governor. And when he was governor, he was in charge. Suzwan, His Excellency Governor Gabriel Suzwan succeeded him, and Suzwan was in charge. And His Excellency Samuel Otom succeeded Gabriel Suzwan. He was in charge. Now, the Reverend gentleman has succeeded Otom. He should be in charge. Governor Alia is not just in government, but is in power. So I don't know why these distractions are taking place. Every governor takes charge of the happenings in his state. So Benue is not an exception. I don't know whether you followed the interview that the performing minister, Engineer Dave Umahi, granted recently. Somebody said he is the leader of the party in Ebonyi. You say no. He said the APC automatically vests leadership on the governor, the sitting governor. I don't know whether you understand what I mean, the implication. Now in Benue State, even when it is not the SGF that is saying it, some of these hangers-on keep causing a lot of problems, making a lot of insinuations that Governor Alia is not the leader of the APC in Benue. And it shouldn't be so. Do you understand? It shouldn't be so. And since he's a governor, since he came, for those of us who believe so much in the delivery of concrete developmental deliverables to the people, our people are happy with the governor. I am from Benue South. We have never been governor before. But I tell you, the kind of massive construction that the governor is carrying out in Benue South, we are so happy with him. Everywhere you go, it is walk, 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 walk. Everywhere you go, it is electricity, electricity, electricity.
So why did
it is water,
crisis?
water. And I'll give you an example.
If the governor is performing.
Yes, he's performing. I will tell you why. Now, as I speak to you, I'm from Ado local government. The road from Igumale to Agla is being tackled head on. From Idele to Utonkon to Ojapo to Okpoga, that one also is on the radar. Let me tell you, and the most serious one that I want to tell you, we have the construction of the Obagaji, Waji Road, all of those roads, the man has started doing them. We never had that before. And you know one thing? If not for Fadalia, the greater Utobi Water Works would have continued to lie prostrate. Okay. The money that the state government was owing the Chinese firm was just about 1.3 billion. It's a small money that should have been paid since, but they didn't pay. Governor Alia have said that. And as the work was about taking place, that was when the Fulani mercenaries launched a serious attack on Akpa, Otukpo. So for us, we want the governor to be allowed to perform his duty. To be allowed? Yes, he shouldn't be distracted.
Who is holding him?
And I will tell you, that I've told you some of the hangers on people who feel that maybe he's not going to support them in 2027. They are the ones doing all of that. I tell you that even His Excellency, the SGF, do you hear him talk? Do you hear him talk? He doesn't say anything because he knows that he too was a governor. He knows the privileges and powers of a governor. And so these people who are hangers on, like I told you, they're actually the merchant of this crisis. And the way I saw the governor the last time I saw him was when we went to Bayelsa for the swearing in of His Excellency Governor Doyediri for second term. And he exuded a lot of confidence and a lot of plans. He had so much plans. And so we are happy. Those of us who like development, we are happy. Okay. But the only politicians who are against him are the ones I call them the Bururu Sarara.
As a former member of the House of the Representative, as a former member, and they've decided to summon the governor. And I want to get your reaction into that.
Before I get the reaction into that, I want to tell you that senior lawyers in this country, especially Femi Falana, he has come out smoky, saying that the National Assembly has no jurisdiction. It has no jurisdiction at all to invite either the Speaker or the Governor. No, it was a joke taken too far. Lashing on the so-called protests by undergraduates that they call lawyers. Many of them are not lawyers. Many of them are still in school. I know 15 of them. On that very day that they claim to have protested at the entrance of the National Assembly, around 6 o'clock, I went to my house, 6, 7. I saw 3 of them there, one with swollen eye. I said, what happened? He said they recruited them to come and, march and then, discredit earlier and the rest. And at the end of the day, they didn't give them the money again. When you see them they call themselves guardians of democracy and rule of law. No. This is a contrived name. It doesn't exist. They just put that name together, to distract the governor. So the National Assembly has no jurisdiction over the State House of Assembly, not to talk of the governor. The National Assembly is to the federal government what the State Houses of Assembly are to the state governments. It is only during wartime or in a state of anarchy or anomy that the Constitution contemplated. Section 114, a community reading of Section 114 and Section 115 will tell you that on no account should the federal legislature or the National Assembly come to take over the responsibility of the subnational parliament, except
an emergency.
When maybe there's an emergency rule, or when the House can no longer sit and carry out its business, then that's how the National Assembly can come in. If you do a community reading of Section 114 and Section 115, you understand what I'm saying. The Constitution is very clear. The people, our heroes past, who put together their brains, their energy to do this Constitution, they knew what they were doing. And even that power for a National Assembly to exercise over State houses of assembly is not an oversight responsibility. It's like an emergency power given for the time being, pending when the crisis will be over. In this case, the Benue State House of Assembly is doing its work very well. They simply suspended some of their members. What is the business of the National Assembly over that? So are you now saying that for suspending Senator Natasha in Nigeria, the ECOWAS Parliament should invite the Senate President to the ECOWAS Parliament to come and answer questions over the suspension of Natasha? No. The state houses of assembly are driven by the rules, just like we have at the national level.
All right.
Do you understand? And so they have the power. Those are rules consented to by all parliamentarians. So if the state house of assembly suspends some members, they should go to the court and try it. Omagege, the former deputy senate president, was suspended. He went to court. And not to politicize this matter. I've not finished, sir. Now, you need to know the foundation of this problem.
Before we go to the foundation, let me just take this break.
Okay.
So we'll take this break. When we come back, we'll talk more. It's still politics on Sunday. We'll be right back after this time out. Please don't. Thank you for staying with us. It's politics on, and I still have a former member of the House of Representatives, that is Honorable Francis Otto Agbo. Thank you for staying with us. And let's go into the insecurity in that state. Okay. I know that it's been very challenging, especially it's a major flashpoint in the North Central. That what do you think is responsible for the spate of insecurity in Benue State?
Well, thank you very much. This is a question that has so many answers. So many answers. More so that the insecurity is not limited to Benue. You agree with me that apart from the South-South and the Southwest that enjoy relative peace, there's problem all over the country. You know it. And I've been saying this, it's not something that either a governor or the president alone or NSA, the way some people think. No. First and foremost, it has to do with this open grazing, which has definitely become archaic. Something has to be done about it. Now, the Fulani herders find Benue State as a very, very fertile ground for them, for their business, because of our lush vegetation, water, you know. So that is why they come. And many of them come around there, they destroy crops of people, and then before you know it, it leads to something. The security people say some of them are outside Nigeria. The people who are actually killing our people, they are mercenaries. They are mercenaries. They are mercenaries that have been called upon. When I was in the House of Reps, you know, I was chairman of the Narcotic Drugs Committee. I was oversighting the NDLA. In one of our interactions with the UNODC, one of the outcomes of that interaction was very clear, that the mercenaries were liaising with the drug cartel. You know, you cannot, you know, carry out some of these heinous crimes, carnages all over the place without being under the influence of hard drugs. So, to answer that question, it has a lot of legs. Some people say they are trying to lay the foundation for another jihad. Some say they are trying to take over Benue, to make Benue. Do you think it has
any ethnic coloration?
I don't think so. It's pure criminality. Because if you go to Katsina, they are killing people in Katsina State. You go to Sokoto, they are killing. In fact, the one that is even happening now, I don't even want to say it on national television. So the killing is not. So, and when you look, I know very clearly that the federal government must aggressively and massively recruit more and more police and security agents all over. Look at our population. Over 200. Over 200 million. And we don't have up to 10 million police in Nigeria. So the federal government should embark on more recruitment of people who can police our various environment. The state governors should, you know, establish security and surveillance center in each of the senatorial zones and then deploy drones, you know, so that they could be preventive in their attacks. And then stakeholders at all levels. This one that you now see, House of Reps members.
Local policing?
Yeah, local policing. The vigilantes, they are basically doing the work of local policing. We in Benue South, those of us who are like minds, because I speak for the silent majority, those who have been attacked If you watch us, I was there for the mass burial. I traversed the places. I know exactly what the issues are. We are tired of lamentation. We don't want to lament anymore. We are empowering our people at the grassroots to defend themselves.
How?
And I will tell you. Now, even if we have 10 million policemen, like I said earlier, you know that it's not possible for the policemen to be across all the hamlets.
Are you not calling for anarchy?
No.
If you are talking about defending themselves, you are
yes,
talking about them
and
carrying arms.
The DSS, the man in charge of the DSS, he spoke eloquently, advising Nigerians to protect themselves. And this is how we do it. The vigilantes, you empower them with logistics. You empower them with a lot of encouragement so that when these people come, they can face them. Let me tell you, recently, they killed two people in Akpa area. The vigilantes led by Williams, Pro Willie, they went after the killers and they were able to get them, they captured them, handed them over to the police with all their arms. That was a product of this empowerment I'm talking to you about. I bought a brand new operational vehicle 2 years ago and I gave to that team. I fuel it for them. I motivate them. Some of our other illustrious sons and daughters who are actually worried about what is happening in our environment, they have been supporting them, buying communication gadgets for them. The point I'm making is that if you don't defend yourself, nobody, no outsider, no police or army can do it for you because you know better your local environment.
I don't think the federal government will encourage that because the
vigilantes
to bear arms, to carry arms,
there are certain
is a provision is exclusive in preserve
what I'm trying to say is that you see, like Ganifa in your blessed memory said, that it is unlawful to be lawful in an unlawful society. So because federal government say we shouldn't bear arms, you will now carry stick to be chasing people who wear AK-47. The vigilante has particular arms that are required for them, to bear. I hope you know what I'm saying. Not AK. You also know that they even they give licenses to people to
Black
bear.
power.
No. Now, and most importantly, the traditional rulers, we were able to conscientize them. Don't allow these Fulani headers to come and don't compromise yourself before them. Headers. Yes, not don't bother to don't do anything with them. Let everybody leave. So what we are saying is that they should go and ranch their cattle. They should ranch it, that's all. But you know there's Amotekun, is how you call it in the southwest. Amotekun. That is what I'm saying. It's a vigilante. That's what it means. So we are rather doing the work
something like that.
That we are supposed to do. Mr. President alone, the governor alone, even two of them put together, cannot solve this problem without all hands being on deck. We all need to be involved. Some politicians were telling me that, why am I talking on air that they should be involved? Security is just for federal government to bring soldier and governor to bring. I say no. If they do all of that, we are not sure of what will happen. We expect in vain if the local community, the stakeholders, the elites, the young people are not vigilant. If they don't do their work, you now, assuming you are a colonel, for example, and you are brought to Benue to lead a troop, do you know
the terrain?
Do you know the terrain? You don't know, so you need that insight. And even if you see all of these attacks, many of them were actually machinated by an insider. Either they induce the person, they give the person money or something. So we are doing a lot of internal cleansing. And I'm very sure with what the governor is doing, the governor visited Benue South, our place, to see for himself. We all made inputs and advice. When I was Chief Press Secretary in Bayelsa, one of the things the then Kodriman governor did was he had a surveillance and security center where they monitor everything happening in Bayelsa State. Drones were deployed, a lot of things. That actually helped him to be preventive in his security approach. So once our governor does that, I'm very, very sure that the security personnel will be able to get information of attacks before they take place. We believe that clearly, and we are not joking about it. Our people need to sleep with 2 eyes closed. Just 2 days ago, they went again to Apa. They went to Omogidi in Iwile, in Adoka district. So I'm happy with what the young people, the vigilantes, are doing. They just caught a set of mercenaries brought to kill our people and handed them over with all their arms to the police. That is why I told you that the president and the governor and the entire security architecture of the federal government cannot solve this problem alone. We at the grassroots must be involved. That has always been what I've been telling you.
It's going to be 2 years in the next 2-3 weeks now that we've had the APC-led government and Bola Tinubu-led administration. I want you to do quickly a kind of assessment on the first 2 years. You know,
Asiwaju has tried. He met a very terrible situation. I watched Professor Chukwu Masoludo yesterday or the day before, when, you know, he is a professional, he's an economist. I am not one. So I have to rely on what he said. The president is doing his best, you know, to retool the economy. He's actually recalibrating the economy. You know what they call opportunity cost in economics. You know, he has removed, what's the name? Subsidy. And that has generated more funds for the subnationals to develop their place. And one of the things the president did, for which is not commended enough, was instructing his Attorney General and Minister of Justice to hit the Supreme Court. That courageous move has enabled us to now know that there is local government autonomy. It has a lot of meaning. People don't know. Dividends of democracy is not just about roads alone or water. So I want to commend the president, and then for some of the appointments he has done, they keep attacking that he's taking only Yoruba people. No. Some of the key ministries are manned by non-Yorubas. Look at the Minister of Works, that very powerful engineer, Dave Umahi, who turned Ebonyi to a mini Dubai. He's doing a lot of work. I saw his work, his concrete roads at the federal highways. I was impressed. Look at what Yenson Ezenwo Wike, His Excellency, is doing. The indigenous people of Abuja are so happy with him. They are happy. Look, he's really transforming the place. Everywhere you go is road. Everything is working well. And I must commend Mr. President. Now, the office of Minister of Defense, Badaru from Jigawa. Minister of Defense, manned by a man from Jigawa. Minister of FCT, manned by somebody from River State. Minister of Works, manned by Engineer Dave Umahi from Ebonyi. And these are name other ministries that are as powerful as these ones.
You say all is well?
No, all is not well, but the president has started on a good footing. Let me tell you, as an Idoma man.
But the feedback you are getting from your own constituents, are they telling you that everything is okay?
No, they are not saying so.
What are they telling you?
I want you
to report the feedback from the people.
The feedback from my community.
Yes.
When we told them that there's autonomy, local government autonomy, they were very happy.
So they will eat autonomy?
No, autonomy now means that local governments will employ more people, money will circulate in the rural economy, and it will, you know, raise the political economy. But the point I'm making is that this is very important for me.
Okay.
People should not be accusing President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, you know, of Yorubanization of his appointment.
Is that what your people are saying?
They're
not talking about their livelihoods. They're not talking about
I'm talking about the opponents of the president.
Decline? Benue State is like the food basket of the federation.
Hold on, I will come there.
Is that
the insecurity is affecting us. But then, I don't know the time, but I need to tell you, there's a very important aspect of this engagement that I have left out. What is the origin of this distraction on the governor? All
right, I want to thank you. We don't have time. Maybe
we
have to call some other
time. I just have to tell you, 1 second.
No.
You know, it is Senator Abamoru, he moved the motion on the Senate that they should go and take over the responsibility of the Benue State House of Assembly, and the Senate shut it down. When he now saw that he couldn't succeed, he now went through the House of Reps. And now again, the House of Reps, simply, you can see what happened. You can see what happened.
We have to leave it there.
Cooperate with the governor. And the reason why Senator Abamoro is attacking the governor was because he made a request of allowing him to form the ESCO of Okpoko local government. Because the governor refused, he's now crying blue mud all over the place.
I want to thank you.
Conspiring and recruiting people to attack the governor. That is not good.
All right.
We didn't elect him to attack Governor Alia. He should go and face the issue of our insecurity. When they were killing our people in Otukpo, he was abroad enjoying himself. And that's why I tag him as Emperor Senator Nero.
Former member of the House of Representatives, Honorable Francis Otoagbo. Thank you for being our guest today. And that's our offering today. That's all on the program. You can see the episode again on TVC News YouTube channel. Also watch a repeat broadcast at 11 today. Thank you for watching. I'm Ayodele Uzubakum.